From Sigma Woman, this is the Business for Aligned Women podcast. I'm your host, Clara McKay, your aligned business coach and advocate for all things showing up for your vision. This is a no BS space for brave-hearted women who are actually craving change. I'm dedicated to bringing women's visions into reality, equipping women with all they need to build an abundant future, and shutting down all of the ways that you keep yourself small. Here, we're all about a women-centered approach, non-negotiable value alignment, and making bank without compromising your well-being. Each week, you're already one step closer to your most aligned and abundant future. This is part one of a really special series that I'm very, very excited about and very, very interested in hearing and partaking in and hearing how you receive it. And what we're doing is I have had lots of my clients send me a really short voice note about the rituals that support them the most in their business. And I'm going to be sharing those voice notes with you over the next few episodes that we do of this series so that you can hear from the horse's mouth some things that have supported them so that they can be aligned within their aligned business. I want to invite you to grab my free masterclass on consistency. If you're someone who struggles with consistency, or if the concept of consistency is foreign to you, there are ways that we can sort this out. And it doesn't need to be foreign, and it doesn't need to be big and scary. And that masterclass is going to be a beautiful, progressive step forward in your journey to consistency. So I thought it would be beautiful to share other aligned business owner rituals so that you're hearing some voices other than mine, and you're hearing from people who are in the exact same position as you, who are showing up for their business, who are maintaining their health and their well-being and their spiritual and psychological well-being while they're in that overwhelm and busyness of business. Today's group, we've got a lot of spiritual ladies sharing with us today. I thought it could be nice to bring more spiritual clients together, and I'd love to hear if there's similarities or difference between them. Before I get into that, everyone is linked in the show notes, their Instagram, the best place to find them. So if you hear from these people, or you hear me talking about them, I will just go over to the show notes, click on them, hit follow, connect with these people, because it's just so nice to know that there are other people who are doing it all with you at the same time, and share the love and connect with them as well. We're hearing from Susie up first. Susie is a beautiful soul who specializes in reading and teaching the Akashic records, and she also does a lot of education around spirituality. I love Susie because she's spending so much of her time in very esoteric concepts, but she's also, like, it sounds silly to say this, but a very real human, and she's very much living in and of the real world. And she's not kind of let herself get carried away with these spiritual realms as I have, as a lot of people have. She's really been able to hold is at once, and she's very highly experienced. She's probably done thousands of readings. She's really honed her skill, and over that time she's seen the commonalities that people are struggling with. So she's really able to kind of hone what people need help with, because as with everything, a lot of us are going through the same thing at the same time. Let's hear what Susie's favorite ritual is in her business.
Solitude is my absolute number one favorite practice. And it is a practice because you have to make time, you have to make space for solitude. But by spending time in solitude, it allows me to connect to my own thoughts and observe those, allows me to connect to my own body and observe what's coming up for me there. It allows me to observe my emotions and observe what's coming up there. All of this is required for me to be able to be the clearest channel that I can be in my role of service to others. It also is solitude and space, being in that neutral energy, that allows me to receive in guidance from my soul, from higher wisdom. And all of this is to help me stay aligned to my soul and to help others to stay aligned to their soul.
Next up, we're hearing from Kylie, and she is a yoga, women's embodiment, and spirituality coach. She has a beautiful membership for all things embodiment, spirituality, understanding yourself. And I know that I love memberships that's going to remind me to recenter and pedestal my self-care, my self-awareness, and my spiritual journey. So that is there for you. Kylie is kind of like a bright light. I loved working with her and seeing her light bulb moments and seeing her openness and her very fluid way of approaching her life and her business. It was really beautiful and kind of elegant to watch and to be in her energy. I think elegant is actually a really, really great word for Kylie. She reminds me of myself at a younger age, and it's been lovely to watch her blossom and start taking up more space and stepping really into her expertise. Let's hear from her.
My most valuable resource as a solopreneur, other than time, is inspiration. In order to ensure that my entire body, mind, and soul are primed for inspiration to want to flow through me, I devote myself to a morning practice, which some of you may have heard of before, called the Morning Pages. It was popularized by Julia Cameron in her book, The Artist's Way. And it is a process of mind dumping 3 stream of consciousness journal pages first thing in the morning when you wake up, when your mind is still a little bit in that subconscious sleepy state. And when I do this, it is not only a cathartic therapeutic practice, but it's also a creativity practice, because in getting out all of the incessant thoughts of my mind onto the paper, I pin them to the earth so that throughout my day, they don't follow me around. And I have freed up space in my vessel for inspiration, creativity, new ideas, conversations, presence, etc., to really flow through me. And this has been a practice I've done for probably a year straight now that I couldn't imagine my life without. I hope that you try it and that it serves you in the same way that it has me too.
And lucky last, we're hearing from Bella. Bella does very deep, transformative breath work, and she is very, very kind of with it in terms of her own evolution and her own progression. And I think that that with itness and that kind of getting it is definitely beneficial for the people that she works with. And I could see how she could hold someone's hand through getting to that space and that way of being and approaching life. I feel like I could talk about her for a lot longer, but I think hearing it from the horse's mouth, you're going to feel those vibes and sense that energy as well.
So there's actually 3 techniques I really want to share with you all. And after many years of trial and error, I feel like these 3 things together work like a miracle. So the first thing is stream of consciousness journaling. I pretty much do this straight away when I wake up, and I'm someone that has a very active, a very overthinking, accelerated mind. This practice for me is crucial. It creates space and it creates clarity, and it kind of gives me a blank slate to start my day with. My second ritual that I do, it's the most sacred one I do. It's my number one. It's my non-negotiable, and that is my breathwork practice and my meditation practice and ritual. The breathing technique that I do, it comes from the Rebirthing School of Breathwork, and it's actually what I facilitate in. It's what I hold space with, and it is the most profound and simple tool I've ever come across in my life in helping you cultivate and create a reconnection to yourself, a reconnection to your body, a reconnection to your emotions, and the ability to listen to and really hear your inner wisdom and inner intuition. And then I follow that up with my meditation, which I usually guide myself through. I use a lot of visualization. And so that brings me to my third and last ritual, which is actually movement and or exercise. And I want to really share this one because it's something that I overlooked for many years, but I have found being consistent with a movement practice that gets you into the body, along actually with the breath work, really cultivates an unwavering sense of confidence.
I hope that you have enjoyed hearing some other women business owners' aligned rituals that keep them sane and sound in their business amongst all of the overwhelm and all of the things that we all need to be doing. And I can't wait to be back in your ears next week. If you can't tell, getting to share this time with you is something that I find truly sacred. I know that you're busy, but if you've taken anything away from our time spent together today, could you extend the love and share this episode with a friend, your community, or on your socials? Tag me so that I can see it and I can share it too. Or when you have a spare moment, leave the podcast a review. These things cost you nothing and will mean so much to me. Let's get this resource into the hands of more women visionaries and help us collectively move towards our most aligned way of being and doing business together.